Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you are Nerding Out with Rickshaw! And you're also nerding out with
It is I, the producer, Toby Von Doom.
Toby. How are you today, bud?
Hey, I'm doing pretty swell, pretty swell.
Well, you're going to be even sweller whenever I tell you what
I'm
we're
gonna
talking
swell
about today. You're gonna swell up
in my
like a
pants.
like like a freaking a kneecap that needs to be drained.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
After I tell you the news
okay.
that Todd McFarlane gave us an update on the new
Ooh.
Spawn movie. But before we get to that, let's talk about Sennheiser headphones. I don't use them whenever we're doing remote podcasts because my computer and all that is a piece of shit. But whenever we meet up and whenever I'm listening to music or working on music, I like to use these Sennheisers. They sound absolutely fabulous. And if you like bass and treble, they sound great. Hey, if you're in the market for some Sennheisers, go to the description and we're going to have a link for 5 or 6 pairs that you could get at a discounted rate as long as you give them the code 10nerding out. So go on down, pick up a pair of headphones, and you'll help us out, and you'll help out my buddy Redbeard at Sennheiser. So, hey, your boy's got a sponsor. What's up?
Hey, help yourself out and get a nice pair of headphones.
True, we all need a nice pair of headphones, especially if we're like sneaking around in bathrooms watching porn mobily, you know? Yeah, don't act like you don't do that, okay? I know what year it is, okay? But yeah, we're gonna talk about Todd McFarlane. He gave us an update the other day, and he's been kind of peeking in randomly
He has
and
been.
giving us updates. So for the longest time, he was talking about putting together a Spawn movie, and he was very determined that he himself wanted to direct it because Todd McFarlane is the man. He is the man that made Spider-Man popular in the '90s with some of his sick drawings.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of the guys who left Marvel to go and start Image Comics. Um, he's just an all-out businessman, but he actually decided he was gonna do a Spawn reboot for his character. He wanted to help write the script himself. He wanted to direct the movie, but he's been giving us updates for like several years now because he doesn't want it to be half-assed. And if anyone has seen the Spawn movie from the '90s, it was fun, but it was also kind of disappointing in a way. So,
Uh, I think the CGI was the most disappointing part of that movie. The movie was what it was. The CGI, yikes.
well,
Yikes.
I mean, also, Spawn is a very long and complicated story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to try and fit it all into a '90s, hour and a half action movie, especially like the state of Hollywood back then was like super wild. It's like the fact that there was even a Spawn movie made was wild already.
That's pretty true.
But yeah. So, and like back then it was just super gimmicky. Everything had to be super gimmicky. Like things like we don't see Spawn a lot in the comics without his mask, especially in the first like, so many issues.
Hmm.
So, of course, in the movie though, they're like, "We want FaceTime for actors," So, and it was in the original one, who was it?
Al
It was
Simmons? Oh, in the movie?
yeah.
I don't remember that actor's name.
It was Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
Shout out Mikey because he's always like Michael Jai White. Yeah, he freaking rules. But but yeah, they wanted FaceTime. We had John Leguizamo as the
It's
clown.
Clown. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Violator.
mean, yeah, there was some cool things in that movie, but we also had the HBO Spawn cartoon series
Ooh,
at that time
that
too.
that cartoon series, I loved it, and I'm so disappointed they ended it so soon.
Yeah.
We need
Well,
that
I mean,
needs to be
it.
rebooted. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching the last season and being like, what, like I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, why is it starting to drag? You know what I
It
mean?
did start to
So I don't
drag.
know. I don't know if it would just kind of fell apart from within, or or something like that. But yeah, so Todd McFarlane finally has been giving us updates on his new Spawn movie project, and he has finally decided that once he got Jamie Foxx on board to play Spawn, I think that he finally declined to be the director. Because he's still going to work directly with whoever the director is, but he has finally kind of like updated us lately on the fact that it's gotten an upgrade to like a bigger budget.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like a bigger studio movie that's gonna be supporting it. And he also said that there's gonna be a lot more A-listers joining the cast.
Nice.
So yeah, that actually really excites me. Also, let's see here, the writers. Some of the last year, at the end of last year, he updated us saying that the script writers is going to include someone that worked on Joker and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, that's pretty fun too.
I feel like we have been teased a Spawn reboot for so many years. I feel like this is on the same level as, oh, we're getting a new Beetlejuice. Have you heard we're getting a new Beetlejuice? Like that rumor's been flying around for 15 years. Also, I remember at one point the rumor was that the Spawn character, I mean, it was going to be a Spawn movie, but you were going to see like little to nothing of Spawn, and it was going to follow Sam and Twitch, which are the two detectives that kind of help Spawn out a little bit.
Hmm.
Anyways, you'd have to. I don't want to nerd out too much on the series, but it was supposed to be more of a detective type of movie, and they're like figuring out like what is happening in their city with this weird creature that's just killing mobsters and big giant mechanical robot apes and stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope. I kind of wanted that version though. Just someone's that you might not see very often. Like it would almost be like the reverse of a Batman movie. Like instead of following Bruce Wayne around, you're following Gordon around, and I thought that was kind of an interesting take to
Yeah.
see that side of it.
Yeah, they definitely, like, whenever they first started teasing this, Todd McFarlane was saying Spawn was gonna be like the guy that's creeping around in the shadows, and they you don't even, like, he doesn't even get screen time for most of the movie.
Yeah,
But I think now that we're getting like for one, Jamie Foxx as Spawn, we probably will see. It probably won't be as dark and gritty and in the shadows as he described originally. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So, because Jamie Foxx is amazing. Like, it's the type of thing where like there's movies like what is it? Baby Driver. I watched that movie and was like, I hated Jamie Foxx in that movie. Like, I was like, he's such a great actor because I freaking despise this character so much.
yeah.
Like, so
What'd you think of him as Electro?
I thought he was all right
Yeah,
as Electro. I mean, they kind of just like, especially with like Spider-Man No Way Home, you could tell that they were like, "Hey, we're gonna bring you back, but you could kind of do your own thing this time around." You know what
yeah.
I mean? So,
You could do
but
your own thing because it doesn't matter.
yeah. Well, also, I saw there's like this meme that's going around, that's been going around for a while, and it's like a screenshot of when they introduced the fact that he was coming back to play Electro in Spider-Man No Way Home, and there's a comment that says, "I am actually a racist." And I even enjoy Jamie Foxx. So I was like, that's a bold statement, but at least it really accents
Yeah.
what a great actor he is. So yeah, and like aside from that too, if we're gonna have to wait several years for a Spawn reboot, and because Todd McFarlane wants to like handle all the shit himself, putting it together, I trust the guy
Yeah.
because some of the wild stories about Todd McFarlane, like just doing business shit, is insane. Like, apparently, whenever he started McFarlane Toys, he he talked to some friends and everybody was like, yeah, you got, action figures and stuff, but like what makes a lot of money is sports like figures, right? Like you get to pick different players from each team and you get to like make action figures of them or whatever, like posable figures, and like that's like where a lot of big bucks are. And so for the longest time he was like trying to get a hold of different sports people and nobody wanted to hear it. They were just like, yeah, you're a comic book guy. Yeah, you're a comic book guy. Like, why would we mess with you? Like you're not like big shit toy company. You're just a comic book guy.
Yeah.
So he went out and he bought like a couple. I think it was a couple of really really rare expensive baseballs that were
Nice.
signed that were signed by old school baseball players that are just like the most sought out baseballs. And then he went to a sports convention with them to show off. And then whenever people were like, "Oh wow, you're like big time collector," he's like, "And I make toys, so let's talk." So that's how he like broke into that market, was like
Okay.
going out and like investing in his self by like being like, you know what, I'm gonna get me this super rare baseball and show it off to people at a convention, and then be like, "Yo, let's work on something." So
Oh, his figures are always really cool too. He does some good work at. Uh, I mean, he's been producing a lot of.
he's
He's doing the DC stuff right now, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He actually he actually got me to start collecting some DC stuff because his figures are
They're
super sick.
just so good.
He's been doing Mortal Kombat.
That's
He's
right.
been doing the DC multiverse line. I think he did. I think he's been doing like a Last Airbender run. He did My Hero Academia. He did a run of those figures. So, and then he's still doing Spawn to this day.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy how many Spawn
yeah,
figures there are.
yeah, Spawn figures, and he still works on the comic book too. And I see his social media all the time. He does like lessons on like how to draw Spider-Man, how to draw Spawn, like,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's wild.
it's funny. My kid actually watched one of his videos on how to draw Spawn, and like he was the kid. I have a video of it, but he was watching a small video on his phone on how to draw him and drew him on this big like 16-inch canvas and painted it and stuff. But because he was able to take the steps as he was teaching them, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and also when it comes to Image, like I said, he left Marvel because he felt like Marvel wasn't paying their artists enough. Like they were creating like new characters. They were creating this new era in the 90s, and like they all got together and were like, "Wow, we're really not even making any money. Like Marvel's the one
Off
making a
our
lot of."
creations at that.
Yeah. Right. So when he started Image, he now does a thing where like the creators get a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like he takes the minimum for the company to keep the company going, but as far as, the comic book artists and the writers, when they team up on a project, they get to keep most of the money.
Hey,
So
it's
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 like,
bit him in the ass too.
oh, really?
Yeah, with Angela. Uh,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
there's a character in the Spawn comics named Angela, and was kind of a big part of the story. And the guy that was co-writing it with him, or the artist that was working on it, I don't remember who he is. Basically was like, nope, you know the rules. That's my character, and could no longer be printed in Spawn issues. And he sat on this character for like what, 20 years or something goofy. And then he sold
Yeah.
it to Marvel. So Marvel came in and introduced her. Is it one of Thor's sisters or something? Or I wasn't reading
I
it.
actually don't
Yeah, I
I
wasn't.
don't know, but I remember, that happening, and I
So I
thought it
don't
was
know if she's.
kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up. I don't know if she's a permanent resident in the Marvel universe now, or if she just came in through a portal. I remember that's how they were going to introduce her. Was like, oh, a portal opened up and here she is. But yeah,
Yeah,
a bit of
but
in
it's
the
so
ass.
funny it's so funny to think of the two companies having such a different business model as like, oh, you're at Image and you created this character, you get to keep it. And then he goes over to Marvel and they're just like, well, like you wanna get rid of that character? And he's like, wow, whatever. Yeah, like it's yours now.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay. But anyways, yeah. The point is, you know, Todd McFarlane be looking out, for the artists and the story writers and stuff like that. So he seems like a rad dude, and I would always support Spawn. So,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, what do y'all think at home? Are you supporters of Spawn? Do you think John Leguizamo should come back as Clown?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
leave it in the comments. Tell us what you think, and even if you're a racist, do you like Jamie Foxx? that is one of the funniest comments by anyone that I could ever think of. So, but yeah, if you also have nerd news or maybe a reaction to a video that you want us to check out, hit us up at nerdingoutwithrickshaw@gmail.com. And we'll see you later, Toby.
We'll see you later, Rickshaw.
And we'll see you later, nerds. Wanda.